Alex here with another review. This time we're taking a look at the VIOFO A229 Pro, which has some of the highest quality I have seen on a dashcam on the channel yet. It features two Sony Starvis 2 sensors, which is the newest image sensor that Sony has. So you got great video image for the front and great video image for the rear, as well as advanced parking monitoring features and 5 GHz Wi-Fi for faster download speeds. And on this video, I'm gonna show you what you get in the kit, as well as walk you through the features of it. And we're also gonna take a look at some driving video so we can see how well this thing actually performs. And I place a link in the description down below to the A229 Pro in case you want to get one for yourself. Starting off with mounting, I'm gonna go ahead and peel this back, then I can place this on my windshield. And the dashcam can also be removed off the windshield if needed. Rear camera is meant to be installed on the inside of the vehicle. I can peel this back and then attach it to the car. The view is also adjustable, and turning the mount in this orientation allows for mounting against a vertical surface like the rear window on a pickup truck. And for power, they have included this automotive adapter, which does have two USB ports, one for the dashcam and one for something else. And this button right here allows us to switch between the different views. You can see that this is the rear view. Tapping that one more time gives us a split view with the front and the rear on the smaller screen. Tapping that one more time switches that split view, so now we have the rear here and the front here, and then back to the front. And the next one is the microphone button.
Voice recording disabled.
Turns off audio recording in case we wanted to have a top secret conversation. And this guy right here, which is the larger button with the exclamation mark,
Video protected.
that is going to flag and protect the section of the video that is currently being recorded as important. And before I show you the voice commands, I do want to point out that the screen is not the brightest. I decreased the exposure on my camera to show you that the LEDs are bright, but the screen not so much. But let's go ahead and try the voice commands. Take photo, show both cameras, show front camera, show rear camera, and there's quite a bit more voice commands, which I'll show you in a little bit. Now, this guy right here is the power button, but it also gives us access to the menu. And to get to that menu, I'm gonna stop the current recording. Then I can tap on this button and we are shown the following options. Before I go into video or system settings, let's take a look at video playback by going into file list. And as you can see, we have videos and photos. Let's take a look at videos. And here you are presented with the different videos that are on the dashcam. Then you can find the one that you want to see, hit OK, and then you can begin to play it back. Now also, I'll pause that right now. And you also have the option on here to either delete the individual videos with this trash icon, would be this button right here, or to protect the video with this button. Notice that it has that lock icon. And the next folder is photos, and this is just like the videos. We can find the photo that we want to see and then tap the center button to make it larger. Moving over to the video settings, let's starting off with resolution. We can run this at 4K for the front and the rear at 2K, or we have a second option for 4K in the front, but more of a widescreen aspect ratio and 2K for the rear, or we can have 2K for front and 2K for the rear if you wanted to fit more onto the memory card, and also full high definition for both front and the rear. And you can also select whether you want the audio to be recorded by default or not. Moving over to the next page of settings, you can customize the video. You can make adjustments as far as exposure. Basically, if you felt that the video was either too dark or too bright, you can customize each camera individually. HDR is also fully customizable, and this allows you to potentially increase the image quality in certain conditions, and you can set this to auto or you can have it on all the time. And you could also individually enable it for the rear camera or the front camera, something that I have not really seen on any other dashcam out there. And the G sensor is what allows this dashcam to detect when you get into a car crash, and here you have the ability to enable that at low setting, medium setting, or high sensitivity, or turn it off altogether. Stamp can also be customized, and this is the information that is shown as a watermark on the video. You can customize whether you want any of this information. quite a bit of customization. VIOFO is probably one of those brands that has, I think, the most customization I've seen on a dash cam. Moving over to the next page of setting, this thing continues. You can choose to record time-lapse instead of normal video. And if you have the optional interior camera, you do have the ability to customize it and turn it off or only on when it's driving, or only on during parking monitoring. And the interior camera does support night vision, and here is where you can control whether you want that function on or off. Moving over to parking mode, this does require the optional hardwire kit, and there are several modes available to choose from. The very first one is time-lapse with night vision, which is quite interesting. It creates a time-lapse with 1 frame every second, or you can select a normal time-lapse where you can customize the frames per second. The other option is to run it on low bit recording. Basically allow the dashcam to stay on recording all the time during parking monitoring at a slightly lower quality. That's why it's called low bit recording. And the next option is auto event detection, which is motion detection, which is fully customizable, and I'll show you that in a little bit. And just a lot of customization. The parking mode can be timed, meaning you can select on here how long you want that parking mode to run for, and you can select up to a maximum of 48 hours of parking monitoring. But in addition to the different parking modes that I showed you over here, the dashcam also has a parking mode G sensor, so it can detect when somebody impacts the vehicle, and you can customize in here again how sensitive you want that to be, either low, medium, or high. And on the next page, here is where you can customize parking mode motion detection. Very similar to the G sensor, you can select either low, medium, or high sensitivity for that motion detection. And something I never seen before, you can choose to disable the GPS or disable the HDR during parking mode. Now, the reason why you will want to do this is to potentially allow you to reduce the power consumption of the dashcam during parking mode if you turn either one of those off or both of them off, potentially increasing the amount of time that the dashcam can stay in parking mode. And back to the video settings menu, let's go to the next page. The rear camera and the cabin camera can be customized. They can be flipped either vertically or horizontally. You can see that the rotate option or the mirror option if you wanted to change their orientation. And you can also enter a custom stamp to be shown as a watermark on the video or your license plate number, and you can also select the default view that is shown when the dashcam first turns on. And if you live in a place that has restrictions as far as recording, they do have a privacy mode which reduces the amount of video that you carry on the dashcam to essentially only the last few videos recorded. But now let's take a look at the system settings. First off, we get Wi-Fi, and this does support 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi and also 5 GHz Wi-Fi for faster download speeds. And there is a lot more customization. 6 pages of customization. For example, daylight savings time can be enabled or disabled if you happen to live in a place that observes that. And moving over to the next page of settings, you can also turn off or on the voice prompts that you hear when the dashcam does different things, and also whether you want the voice control to be enabled or disabled, and also the voice commands that are available, and you get 2 pages of voice commands. GPS can also be disabled if you don't want that information to be recorded for privacy purposes, and also the speed unit is adjustable between miles per hour and kilometers per hour. And on page number 5, here's where you get screensaver. The dashcam is going to turn off the screen after a certain period of time, but it's going to continue recording. Unfortunately, there is no option to leave the screen on all the time, which is kind of disappointing, so I'm going to leave mine on 3 minutes, but at least we get those indicators in the bottom letting us know the status of the dashcam. And under languages, there are quite a bit of languages in here to choose from, a total of 3 pages in case you wanted to change that from the default one. And now that we've seen the settings on the dashcam, let's go take a look at the app functionality. And the app is called VIOFO, and it's going to connect to the dashcam and give us a live view coming from it. Here is the front camera, and also with this icon right here, we can switch between those cameras. Here's the rear and also that split view, and then once again swapping that split view and then back to the front. Also, turning the phone in this orientation can maximize the view if you wanted to see it in a little more detail. And to access the videos that are on the dashcam, that is done with this icon right here. Now the videos are on the dashcam. They are not downloaded onto our phone. They're only going to be downloaded when we need to, and they have been sorted out. You can select locked, and then it's going to show you videos that are important, either flagged by you or by the dashcam as important, videos that were taken during parking monitoring, and any pictures that you may have taken. And notice that here is where you got the option to download that picture or to delete it. And you can also sort the videos by front camera videos only or rear camera videos only. Let's go back to the front and let's play back a video. I'm going to go ahead and tap on this guy. We'll hit play. And again,
Recording. 2 channels started.
the video is coming from the dashcam. It's not downloaded onto our phone yet. If you want to download a copy for safekeeping, you will use this function, or you can use the trash can to delete it. And lastly, you have this gear icon that gives you access to the dashcam settings. And I mean all the settings. They're all in here. You can fully customize the dashcam from the app, which I think is pretty cool. But now that I've shown you the app, let's go ahead and take a look at some driving video. That way we can see how well this thing actually performs. And this is an audio test of the VIOFO A229 Pro dashcam, and I am sitting on the driver's side seat. And this is an audio test of the VIOFO A229 Pro dashcam, and I'm standing outside the driver's side door. For the front camera, VIOFO says that they use the Sony Starvis IMX678 image sensor. The front is recorded at 30 frames per second and has a lens degree of 140. A larger lens degree gives you a more wide-angle view at the expense of some details since things appear farther, and a smaller lens degree gives you a more narrow view. But this has the advantage of increased details since things appear closer to the camera. The average lens degrees on dashcam is 140. This one again is 140. For the rear camera, VIOFO says that they use the Sony Starvis IMX675 image sensor. The rear is recorded at 30 frames per second, and the rear camera has a lens degree of 150. HDR is enabled for both front and the rear camera, and the recording format is MP4 files. And on that strange decision not to allow us to keep the screen on all the time, I don't really know why that is, and I really wish we could leave that on. Even though the angle of a wedge dashcam doesn't really let you see it as well, it just kind of gives me peace of mind and also gives me the choice to leave it on if I wanted to. So hopefully they can add that ability in a future firmware update. That way we can confirm that yeah, this can in fact run the screen on all the time and also run this at 4K, even if it's gonna get nice and toasty hot. If it runs without no issues, I see no reason why we cannot keep the screen on all the time. Now, besides that, I do really think that this dashcam offers some of the best image quality I have seen on a dashcam out there, and it also has some cool upgrades like this little Bluetooth remote control button. And now this guy right here is gonna be convenient if the dashcam is installed kind of a little further away from your reach. So being able to tap this button to enable an action on the dashcam, this could potentially be placed closer to you so you don't have to reach over and touch the dashcam. That's a great idea. And also we get that voice control, so even if you don't get this optional remote, you could potentially use those commands to control this dashcam as well. Now, if you're curious to see the full installation process for a dashcam, I have made a video already showing that. I'll put a link to that in the description down below. I'm also gonna place a link in the description to the A229 Pro in case you wanna look at it further or acquire one for yourself. If you guys have any other questions regarding this guy, please put that in the comments down below. And if you found any part of this video helpful, make sure you hit the like button to support the channel and stay tuned as I have a lot more dashcam reviews coming up. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.